Welcome to Soulful Living. We're Doctors Philip and Jane Montrose, your hosts, and this show provides timely keys and solutions for open-minded people like you today about awakening to the power of your soul. A quick overview here. We've had 3 decades of experience in the fields of holistic life coaching, healing. We're published authors, trainers, coaches, directors of IAHP International Association of Holistic Practitioners, and directors of Awakenings Institute, a nonprofit organization for making the planet a better place for us to live in. So each week, a strategy, something you can apply today and the week, and actually going forward. Today, awakening to the power of your soul. Um, Jane, you want to start us off?
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. It brings me back to when Philip and I really started. Well, we started, I wouldn't say we started our spiritual journey at this point, but at a certain point, actually, in our spiritual journey, and this was decades ago, we decided that we needed to access our own guidance and wisdom, which really makes sense when you think about it. We had been in an organization where there was a one of those spiritual leaders who said he had all the truth and we were supposed to follow him. And we did that for a while. And then we thought, well, if he has the truth, why can't we have the truth? And it took us on a journey. It took us a number of years to find the simple truth. And it is very simple because everything in life and within us is holistic. It's built right into us. And it just happens that the heart is the center of our being. It also is considered sometimes by many as the spiritual bridge. And it also is what we would say is the connection with the heart and soul. The soul connects most firmly to the body through the heart. So it really is a bridge to a new way of being and the place where you can go to access your full potential. It's like there's so many amazing things that happen when you connect with the love in your heart. And that to us is that's how you awaken to the power of your soul most easily. There may be other ways. We know that this has worked for us, and we've used it with countless students and clients and people over the years. We actually discovered, or we're actually shown this process more than 30 years ago now, and it changed my life considerably. I think it was the same for Philip too. When I started doing this process, I'm going to do a little shortened version here in a minute called soul centering. um, I was an architect. I was very unhappy. Felt like my soul was dying. I didn't have any idea what that meant, but I just felt like life wasn't it wasn't working for me anymore. And when I started doing this process, I had to actually wake up 15 minutes early so that I could make time for it. But it became so exciting within less than a week that I wanted to get up and I had much more energy. So I ever since then, I can't wait to get up in the morning because life is so exciting for me. And I think Philip feels similarly. Do you want to
Mhm.
share a little bit about yours before
Right.
I do the
So
process?
it's kind of like you're going about, and you might be interested or not, but there's not a deeper meaning, a deeper connection, a continuity to your life. And there's a lot going on beneath the surface of things that probably most people watching this have a sense of. And once you get a feeling for your soul, that deeper, transcendent, timeless connection that we all have, but that's hidden at first until we get to a certain point in our awareness. Once you connect with that soulful awareness, life takes on a new meaning, a deeper purpose. So everything kind of makes sense then. The things that you were going through the motions in, you weren't connecting the dots. You were kind of random and reactionary a lot. Changes, and you're more responsive, you're more intentional, you more are aware of why things are happening the way they are.
Right. Right. It just is something in a way it's indescribable and somewhat unbelievable that it could be as good as it is. Um, and I just actually I need to share this for a moment. If you could just say a few more things.
Well, part of the soul food journey for us was finding someone who could kind of teach us in this back in actually 1990, a long time ago, 30 years ago about. And that person said that in your heart, if you open it up, you can connect with your soulful awareness. And people talk about living from their heart and being open hearted and opening their heart, although society is not at that point yet, as you probably are aware, sometimes painfully so. And as you open your heart, um, you connect with this broader, deeper awareness of the way things are and who you are, and your sense in the connection in the scheme of things. And when you do that, life makes a lot more sense and is a lot deeper and richer.
Right, right. And it really is, in a way, it is something that improves as you practice it, but it actually is fairly easy to do. And we're going to do a brief form of it right here. Um, it might benefit a little more from a little bit more time. But I think a good way to start, I was thinking about it earlier, is if you can focus on something or someone you love unconditionally, just anyone or anything. The energy is the important thing. And close your eyes for a moment and just start to breathe that love and some nice light in with every inhale, and release any tension you notice in your body as you exhale. So, with every breath, you're breathing in more love and light. And as you exhale again, you're releasing more of what you don't need in this moment. And it is tempting for that active brain to keep talking, but this is a time when we just want to be here with this energy, and you can just breathe some of that love and light into your brain. Just asking any thoughts you don't need now to drift off. They can come back. In your mind, you can tell your brain that it can comment later. For now, you just want to go with the experience. So, breathing that love and light into your mind, and also just allowing that same energy to flow down through your body so you can feel your whole body relaxing down your torso and legs all the way to the tips of your toes. And again, starting at the top, going down to your neck and shoulders, which hold a lot of tension. Taking a nice deep breath of it, releasing down your arms all the way to the tips of your fingers. So you can feel that love and light all through your body. And then breathing intentionally into the love and light into the area around your heart. And just feeling the love in your heart intensifying as you breathe. And you may feel or see a light in the area of your heart that becomes brighter as you breathe more love into it. Just notice what you notice. And as that light brightens, allow that love to flow out, radiating out from your heart all through your body, sending even more love into all the cells of your body and then into the space around you, which is your energy field. So you're completely surrounded by that love and light. And also at the same time, you can allow that energy around you to expand out even further, because we contract ourselves. It's like we have to contract ourselves to fit in society. This is your time to be yourself with yourself. So you can expand out as much as you want. Because it really is one of the wonderful benefits in the heart is that it allows us to understand the value that we have. And it is energy you can bring with you. So I'm going to allow our conversation to continue. You can just allow yourself to be in that loving space as we're going to talk about the benefits of it. So, Philip, did you want to start?
Yes, benefits. Awakening to the Power of Your Soul, which is a new program we have based around that profound way of living. The first benefit of doing that, we would say, is accessing the inner guidance and wisdom, which is, I think, something that people watching are very attuned to or interested in. And I'll mention a quote here from one of our students, one of our people who've adopted this soul centering approach, like Jane just did with you. Sandy Close, an educator in Oregon, reported that before she started doing soul centering, her heart was closed and cautious. Now, a few years later, after practicing the soul centering along with other healing tools like holistic EFT and spiritual kinesiology, which we teach, well, now she can access herself at a much deeper level, she finds. And her morning soul centering routine, good time to do it, helps her be embodied by her soul, connected more directly, and become the person she wants to be, which is what we're talking about, accessing your inner guidance here and wisdom. And regardless of life's challenges, she knows she can get through it now. Plus, she and her husband just manifested a new house in Oregon, in a new city they had longed for. It took a while. So part of it is the things that happen to us in life may be interesting and challenging, but when you see it in this big picture, why you came to Earth on that kind of soul plan, soul purpose level, it changes things.
It really does. Yeah. And it was, as I mentioned, that was our initial goal, is to access our own guidance and wisdom. And it all is out there. It's um like follow your heart, just these ideas, and they sound like cliches, but there's actually profound truth in them. And I think going to the second benefit that we discuss, so we have accessed it, we showed you how to access, and as I mentioned, you can go deeper with it with a little more time. um, what you might notice also, when you're in that place and you're surrounded by love and you're feeling love in your heart, that you feel okay. It is great. So the second benefit is that it reduces stress and anxiety. And I find it interesting in our work with clients, and as I've mentioned, we've been doing this for many years. One of the most common problems our clients have is that they're off center. Your heart is the center of your being. And when you're disconnected from the truth in your heart, that it is stressful because you don't know what's right for you. It Being connected in this way and accessing your own wisdom is it's your most resourceful state. So you feel okay when you're in that place. And that, I think that's a really magical part of it too, because it's not that hard to do, and it is great for reducing stress and anxiety. And there's even a science behind it, which I'll go into in a little bit here. But for now, if you can just see, it's your inner compass. It knows what's right for you. And when you're connected with it, then you feel much more okay with everything that's going on. And more resourceful. If you have a problem to solve, is like, how can I solve this? What is the solution? What is my next step? And your heart can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go to the next one?
The third benefit of awakening to the power of your soul is building confidence. Um, so that's a big thing for many of us at times, that we feel uncertain, that we kind of get lost and weakened, and our life force gets dampened. Here's another good quote here from a person we taught the soul centering 2 years ago, Marian Hakata, who's a Reiki master and teacher now for many years. And when we first met Marian, she was quite timid and shy. we met her in a class of, we had a class of 8 people, and she was just terrified to even talk in front of 8 people, just offer a comment or response to something. Um, Excessively shy. But through working in the soul centering and the holistic healing, she said, soulfulness and soul centering has made such a difference in my life for the past 20 years since I learned it from the Mount Roses. I don't know where I'd be without connecting so directly with the soul regularly. It helps me be heart directed. Soul awareness has been incorporated in my life and work for many years now, and where I can release judgments and restrictions and show others how to do so as well. Then changes and transformation can occur rapidly. I share this knowledge and approach with students. It's not just about me, it's about them. So, this benefit of building confidence comes naturally when you figure you are more than just a body and emotions and thoughts. You are a soul, embodied being living a life for a reason and a purpose.
Right, right. Each of us is a wonderful spiritual being. And we may not be society's idea of like what's what's popular these days, but we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be ourselves. We're supposed to be fully ourselves. And when you realize that that's what you're here for, to be yourself, it does build confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to what your soul's guidance, it really has a lot of wonderful things to say about you. So I think that was really helpful to me too, because I didn't have much confidence in myself. And we all have stuff. You can say, well, I'm too short, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too old, I'm, my family didn't do that, or whatever. um, None of that matters. All that matters is to take what you have and realize a purpose with it, which we'll be talking about that a little bit too here in a few minutes. But I wanted to talk next, number 4, about it actually improves your health and well-being. And
Awakening to the power of your soul, we're talking about.
right, right. So when you connect with your heart, um, and with that love, feelings of love and gratitude and joy, all of those things that are in there, which are all good and wonderful and feel great, your heart rhythm shift, bringing the whole body into a new state of harmony. And the opening to the heart has numerous practical benefits. It reduces stress and relaxes the organs, producing positive effects that even offset the effects of aging. That's a good thing. Chronic stress is a killer, and the love and happiness we hold in our hearts have the opposite effect. So if you think that is degenerative, allowing yourself to be in states of stress and anxiety, being in states of love and happiness and gratitude have the opposite effect. Clear, loving hearts engage also the higher cognitive functioning of the brain and increase intuitive awareness. It creates a state that's called sometimes coherence with the brain. And I think many of us have had that experience. Well, my head says this and my heart says that, and there's this kind of a battle going on. And if you actually work with the heart and the head together, in time they come into that sense of coherence, so that they're functioning in union rather than in opposition. And it actually is very beneficial, and I think is another step in opening to the resourcefulness that you have, so you can improve your health and well-being. And I think the next one Philip's going to talk about is it actually helps you to improve your thinking.
You're thinking right. So, awakening to the power of your soul, you may not think of it, you might think of it as very spiritual and lofty and abstract and obscure, but it's really quite concrete, because when you have this soulful awareness, why you're here, what you're doing, that your life has meaning and purpose, that sharpens your thinking, your mental abilities. Um, so you have a sense of when it makes sense to memorize something, when it makes sense to use critical thinking to compare and contrast and weigh things. And sometimes it's called using scale and relativity too. So what is important? How does this relate to the big picture? How does it relate to what's going on now? What's the context? Um, and you have a better sense of things instead of just being in a momentum, in a, thinking what you always have thought and getting what you've always gotten because of the thinking, kind of a retread. So and your positive thoughts can be linked to more realistic thinking as well, practical thinking. So you're not pie in the sky, and you're not also kind of negative and judgmentally being critical or very uh, reactionary, or thinking about things people have told you that are true that you maybe, when you think about it, are not.
You can feel it.
You can feel it.
Einstein has said, few are those that see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts, which makes sense. And it's interesting in our society, focusing on love and these kinds of things might be considered kind of airy fairy, and we're not suggesting being at all ungrounded. In fact, we do suggest being grounded and also connecting with that truth to guide yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're two different things. Again, that's that part of that kind of coherence, or whatever you call it, between the brain and the heart, that
Dichotomy.
we can resolve.
Split.
Yeah, dichotomy, a split, that we can resolve when we connect with the truth in our heart, and then combine that with the truth that we have in our heads too, the science.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding actually how the science relates to all of this, like I was saying, with some of those facts that I stated, it helps the mind to come more into harmony with what we're talking about. And it does, number 6, it does help you to understand your life purpose. And I
Awakening to
have
the
to,
power of your soul, the sixth.
right, if you connect with the truth in your heart, you'll feel your purpose. It will feel right to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
the thing that's most exciting,
Mm-hmm.
really, and the thing that you want to do to make a difference in the world. It's pretty simple. And one thing about it that is maybe a caveat is it evolves. It's not like, well, I'm going to figure out my life purpose today and ask my soul, and I'm going to have it. It's like you'll understand your next step. But one of the things that we've found over the years is that the things that are happening for us are, we couldn't have imagined them when we started this in terms of purpose. We knew where we wanted to go, kind of a general direction. We didn't know exactly where that was going to take us. So I think the more you follow your heart and follow your sense of purpose, the more it comes into a form, and then it becomes clearer. But even now, we're open to, we don't know where life is going to take us next. We're open
Right.
to it.
Right.
So who, I mean, it just is, it's miraculous though when you get to that place of following your heart.
Yeah,
So
life becomes more fluid and dynamic, and not so much in a chaotic, fearful, uncertain way, in a more trusting, dynamic, loving way, where you feel like you're kind of riding the waves rather than being overwhelmed by the waves, so to speak.
mm-hmm. And for this show, Soulful Living, it is our goal to provide practical tips. And our soul centering is a very practical tip. And just anytime you can, if you find yourself in a momentum, like kind of charging
Mm-hmm.
through life, you can stop and breathe love into your heart and return more to that center, that feeling, oh, I can return to my center. I know how to do that. And it feels very relaxing and good. And it's great. So it's great for your everything in you. It's great for you.
So,
Very
this
healthy.
seventh benefit for awakening to the power of your soul is connecting easily, actually, if you want to, with guides and angels. So, many people are interested in that level of awareness of connecting with your invisible friends, your support network. Uh, an analogy could be, if you think of a TV show, it could be, or a movie, you see like the people in the front, like the main characters, but when you see the list of credits, there's this huge long list of credits. Well, that's like your life. You're the author of your life. You're the star, the center of it, but there's all these beings and these connections behind the scenes that are actually helping and supporting you. And if you can more consciously connect with them, um, that's valuable and enlivening to do so. So that's something that a lot of people like to know, that there are these guides who are out there protecting us and helping us and giving us insight and impact and protecting us even at times.
Mm-hmm. Right. And when you're connecting with the vibration of love, what you're doing is you're elevating your vibration so that you're closer to those beings who are helping you. And that's a
Right.
wonderful thing. It's wonderful to recognize that we came here with a plan. And this is another thing the soul understands, is that the soul and guides around you actually developed a plan for your life before you were born.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also get a better sense when you're connected with that love in your heart, when you're connected with that truth, you can get a better sense of whether you're on the path or deviating off of the path to to really what your greatest potential is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just has so many amazing benefits.
So,
And something that is kind of beyond where we're going to be able to go today is um, love and this spiritual energy that we're accessing with the soul centering process is also the most powerful energy that you can access for healing. And that's another thing that we do
mm-hmm.
is we use it for healing, and it's extremely amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clear the blocks that are blocking the soul, that we're here to learn and to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Part of why
Right.
we're here.
Yeah, just accessing the soul's truth can clear a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not in that anxiety and confusion anymore. It's like, oh, I understand this now.
Mm-hmm. So 7 benefits we noted today on Soulful Living Show with Philip and Jane Montrose about awakening to the power of your soul. 1, access your inner guidance. 2, um, reduce stress and anxiety. 3, build confidence. 4, improve your health and well-being. 5, improve your thinking. 6, understand your life purpose and plan. And 7, connect with guides and angels. And this is all part of our a new program that we have we just unveiled it as of this time. It's called Awakening to the Power of Your Soul. There's a tiny URL there to find it, tinyurl.com/power-of-your soul, tinyurl.com/power-of-your soul. It's a book cover Jane made. So
Wait,
that's
it doesn't. Wait, that's not the one that's on the top of this page. Awaken Soul Power.
Awaken to the Power of Your Soul. You're not seeing
You
that?
said awaken dash. I thought you said the
No, the
URL.
name of the tiny URL for it
Oh,
is
oh, the tiny
tinyurl.
URL. Oh, I'm sorry. I got lost.
tinyurl.com power dash of dash your soul. That's the URL to
Oh,
get to
I
this
see.
page. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So people might want to check out that program to go further into this subject, where we have a new book and webinar trainings and videos and processes on how to go further into this, so you can live by the light of your soul more fully every day.
Right. Right. And it also includes introductions to the healing techniques, and there's just much, much more in it, based on what we described over 30 years of experience with it.
Right. Well, anything else for today before we close things for the Soulful Living Show, Jane?
Well, I just would encourage people, whenever they think of it, to pause and breathe a little love into their hearts and
Mm-hmm.
into their lives, and notice the effect that it has. And if you want to follow up, there is so much more too, and details and
Yeah,
things
this
that
is
you.
an introduction.
Right, obviously.
Right. So remember the keys of the show, in this case, awakening to the power of your soul, soulful living every week with Philip and Jane Montrose. Let people know it. Let people know about the show and the link here. It's Soul of Success on the Facebook page. And if you want to know more, visit our website, gettingthrough.org, gettingthru.org/holistic, gettingthrough.org/holistic. And we do value your support, tuition for courses and other support, our mission of helping to create a more loving world. And if you can share the message of love and connecting with your soul to those around you, together we can change the world. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.